So to lay out the show today for you, we're going to have our friend Ryan Glow come up here, and we'd like you guys to ask him a few questions live. After that, we're going to have Pat Lamont come up and do the same thing.
Pat's ready? Well, we'll get Pat up first.
Pat's up first.
Ryan had to go get pretty, I guess, or something. No, we don't want you, Ryan. We want Pat. Sorry. Pat, hey, hold on. Pat does shoot every event at the Grand every year. So
we're good to go?
So once we get done with Pat and you get your questions in, and we get done with Ryan, you get your questions in, then we're going to start the raffle. We're just going to start pulling names and hopefully giving out a bunch of cool prizes. So we really appreciate you guys doing that. Pat Lamont, everyone. Give him a round of applause.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. Welcome back to the show. So, Pat, tell us how your week's going, because I've been looking at the scoreboard. You've been up there quite a bit. So.
It's been up and down.
Here, you might need a little closer.
There's a lot of up and...
Is it working?
Is it working, John? Where'd John go?
We
John, his mic's off, John.
I think when...
It's okay.
Testing?
Nope.
Good help is hard to find.
There.
Try it now.
How about now?
No.
How about now?
You're good now.
There,
okay.
We'll do this. How's the week been? It's been up and down. There's been some good ones. There's been some not so good. Sometimes you're going, whose gun is this? And other times it feels like midsummer.
So Pat, you always shoot Tucson really, really well. What's something that you could give the listeners that are here today, maybe a tip that they could work on for the rest of the weekend going into the all-around?
When I come to Tucson, you never know what to expect. It seems like as the week goes, it starts to get a little bit more natural. I think don't panic. When things don't feel like they're supposed to right at the start, It'll get there. It'll get to mid-season form and hopefully start getting better.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've seen you just won the shoot-off against Peter Walker. I guess that was down to you two.
Yeah.
Good job.
So what'd you break yesterday, 93?
93, yeah.
And Jack and Oss broke 95, which is, uncommon here at Tucson for 95 to be high in a handicap.
Yeah.
But
it just shows the weather. I mean, it's really conditions. But I do want to circle back with what you said, being calm. I feel like on this target, especially when you're early into the year, the tendency is it looks big and orange and ready to go, and you just want to jump on it out of the house. And I was doing that the first couple days. I know you don't make any mistakes, but I do.
I made several today.
A few.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think these targets they don't look as big as the New York style, like these orange domes. They don't pop out as much as the others, but yeah, I know what you mean. You just want to get out there. You want to shoot. You want to be back in mid-season form, and it just takes a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and like I said, this is your first stop. Now, when will you shoot next?
There's a small shoot in North Dakota, and then probably Minnesota will be the next one.
So you won't shoot again until the end of June?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a break. This isn't even early season. This is off season.
This is off season for you.
Last season for you.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, we do want to make sure to get some questions in from you guys. So, does anyone want to come up and ask a question to Pat while he's up here? Is there anything you guys want?
Anybody want to know anything about Pat, or don't be shy?
Yeah, if we can get
Come
up
on.
here, you guys can ask a question.
Yeah, if we can get Zach up here.
Just yell it out if you got a question.
Okay.
Whole points, slip points?
Whole points, slip points. Great
There you go.
question.
Singles, doubles, or handicap?
They said yes. They want all of it.
They want all
They
Pat.
want it all,
This
Pat.
is a one-stop shop today, Pat.
Take it from the top.
Out here, actually, I've had this conversation a couple of times. People asking why the scores aren't as high here, and I think it's vision. I think that it's tougher to see. You got the mountain background, so I think your eye points, I think, are very important. I'm probably maybe this high over the trap, soft focus, and basically that's where my gun is too. And singles probably about this high with a bit of an arc over the trap, looking basically right through my barrel. Handicap, I think it's a little bit backwards to what a lot of guys do. I actually held up higher. Missed the first target out here in the shoot-off, and I didn't even see that thing. So I'm probably maybe 2.5 or 3 feet when it gets tough to see. Maybe 2 to 2.5 feet maybe, and basically looking right through the barrel again. So doubles a little bit high. That's probably about the 2.5 feet, and moving just a little bit as I call. So every time, eyes looking right through the barrel.
So I remember you saying on the show when we had you on the first time, you are rolling with that doubles target, right? So you don't really hold this dead still gun. I mean, it's kind of pull and roll, correct?
I want to move just a little bit. Now, I don't want to, obviously not in singles and doubles, or singles and handicap, I mean, but yeah, just, it's almost like
Like a little push?
Almost like a push, and it just moves your gun just a tiny, tiny little bit.
In that direction.
In that direction.
And trying to match the speed and just get on it a little bit quicker.
Yep.
Yeah, he shoots pretty quick.
Yeah, he does shoot 'em pretty quick. He broke the low 100 yesterday in the doubles we saw. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not very common when you come to Tucson, you only see 100 in doubles. So
Well, and then one today. Hopefully tomorrow there'll be one.
Or one would be ideal.
I'll try to finish tomorrow instead of today. But it happens.
I think there's a question over here.
So when you say you look through your barrel, you're actually looking down a bit?
I think so.
So the question was, when you say you look through your barrel, you're actually looking down a bit because we need to make sure we record that. I don't think he has a mic.
I'm gonna pull people up and make them ask.
Okay. Yeah, pull them up, John.
That's the last freebie.
That's all right.
Yeah, and I'm not looking down as in right at the lip of the trap. I think it's just what I see is right through that barrel, and I can see all around it. Shooting an unsingle, you still have that vision around the barrel. So I think that's right where I look, is basically right through the beads.
That's the difference in shooting a top single or fixed rib top single, you know, even a top single adjustable. With an unsingle, you have a lot better vision, so you can get away with doing it. Pat does it that way. I'm on the house and I just look through.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the difference is, like, I think you're looking along the rib too, right?
I am. I look straight through the beads and yeah.
And see, I'm looking way.
You're looking down.
I'm looking way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of space between the beads, so I can see what I think is right through the barrel.
Yeah, looking down through, that's interesting because I'm looking above. So you got Ricky looking through, I'm looking above, and then you're looking down into it. I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's eyes are different. Everyone sees a target differently, and you got to find what works for you and how you pick up a target, and that's going to change from coach to coach now. Thanks.
John's trying to blow up stuff.
Check. But it changes, right, Rick? I mean, now for you,
Yeah.
you're pretty consistent, but you are changing where you're breaking it based on where you see it.
I break them where I see them. I mean, I'm not like I got to break it here on double. You know, it's just trigger control.
Sure.
And that's the difference. You do the same thing, Pat. I've seen you ride out a target a little further than one, and that just when you're on it, you shoot it.
Sure.
If you're not on it, don't shoot it. When the brain says that's what happens when you flinch a lot. And I've had some students here this week that were flinching a little bit when I was teaching, and that's just a lot of it's vision because their eyes are getting away, they're not seeing it, and they jerk.
Yeah.
Where if you keep it, you can see that target all the time, move up through it, break it, no problem.
That's right.
Hopefully.
All right, those are two great questions. Who's got some other questions? And if you got one, please go up to the mic and speak it so we can get it recorded.
Oh, we got one coming up
All right,
here.
here we go. Yeah, we love it. We need you fans to be involved. We love you guys.
Hold on 1 second.
Hold on, he's got to plug it in probably.
No, it's okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
1, 2, check.
There we
I always
go.
wanted to do that.
Now you have.
In the off season, do you do a lot of dry firing? Do you just look in the mirror? And I noticed, I heard that you mentioned that you were going to take some time off. How much practice do you do in the off season to keep yourself at optimal performance, or do you just wait until a month before and then pick up the gun and start putting and mounting?
That's just good. I mean, he has won every ring available to win, so.
No, honestly, before I came here, I had the gun together for a couple of weeks, but I probably put it up 20 times. That's about it.
That was heavy practice with that.
There's really, our off season, it's cold. We pull the traps out in about probably end of October, and then we don't shoot again until the spring.
Now to circle back on that, that's now. When you started and you weren't a world champion, were you practicing a lot and doing a lot of work?
For the same reason, our season is just so short. Now, at the start of the season, I do shoot. I shoot, our club's open Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. I usually go out there 3 times a week and maybe fire 50, 100, maybe 150 shells in a day. And we'll do that for maybe a month and a bit before the first shoot. Now, depending what the spring brings. There's times when you got about 3 weeks to shoot and get ready, and that's what we do.
Depending on your weather up there for sure.
Exactly.
Well, that was a good answer.
Absolutely. Any other questions, folks? Come on. You can
One
do
more
it.
question for Pat, and then we're going to get Ryan out here.
Did you start off in a junior program?
Did you want to get
He
that?
got a freebie again.
He got a freebie. Did you start out in a junior program at all, Pat?
I did. There was a Manitoba Junior Shotgun Association. There is a junior program. It's not very big. Really, I started shooting with my dad. I shot behind the trap. I used to actually back right up or have my knees up against the trap. I put about five shells on the end of the trap, shoot straightaways. It was an old 870 20 gauge, and did that for, I don't know, maybe a year and a bit, and then moved back, started shooting, just practice when I was 10, and then the junior program started when I was 12.
Nice.
Awesome. I like that, the way you talk up there, a year and a bit.
It's Canadian.
I'm gonna have to use that.
You'll be saying "hey" all the time. Watch on the show.
Hey,
One of the episodes.
how do I say beer in Canadian? The suds or whatever, or what?
Oh, it's still beer.
Oh,
We
okay,
got
so-
beer there too.
That was Chapel the other night. He was talking from England, so
Yeah, he was a little different with the suds, but we like him. He's a good one. Well, Pat, you're always a pleasure to have on the show, but
Yep.
I know these people are here for the raffle, so we gotta keep this thing moving. So we appreciate you coming out, and we're gonna have Ryan Glow come up next.
thanks, Pat. Good luck.
Give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Ray.
Good luck, bro.